know what the biggest problem of being an internet wrestling fan is? I can't for the life of me now work out if the big NXT announcement, which I'll talk about in 1 second, was meant to happen on Raw, or if we just said it was meant to happen on Raw and then it didn't, and we got upset with our own expectations. But yes, if you have been following the websites and the dirt sheets, as they used to be called, it does seem as if NXT is about to move to Wednesday nights on the USA Network, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., which very coincidentally just so happens to be the time the AEW show will also be on TNT. Anyway, we didn't get that, but we did get an episode of Raw, and the only way to find out if it's any good or if it sucked is to give it an ups and to give it a downs. That didn't really make much sense. Almost put myself in my own segment, but I am Simon Miller. This is What Culture Wrestling. Let's up those Raw downs. Raw started with Roman Reigns, and that means some investigating. Give it an up. Oddly, we didn't learn much here. Roman Reigns was simply on Raw to have a match with Dolph Ziggler. Before he had said match, Dolph Ziggler told the big dog, "Look, Roman, there's nothing really to worry about because you've only had a bunch of stuff almost happen to you, whereas I, Dolph Ziggler, was speared 3 times by Bill Goldberg." Now, Dolph doesn't seem to understand that trying to kill someone is illegal and signing your name on the dotted line and having a wrestling match in a wrestling arena is perfectly legal. But I suppose that Dolph Ziggler is stupid. The two then did have their match, and Dolph Ziggler lost after he took a spear from Roman Reigns, and I presume we will find out more about the attempted murder of Roman later on SmackDown. And if you have been paying close attention, you will notice that yes, I lost my cigar, and I'm now smoking an orange highlighter pen. Becky Lynch then had something to say. It was basically 4 months ago Sasha Banks ran away from the WWE, but now she's back, and the fact that she's tangling with the man means that she's hotter than ever. She also had a really good line where she said, "Sasha Banks is one of the great wrestlers, never to be great." I just thought this was, as usual, hot fire from the Raw Women's Champion. Although I was a bit confused, because some people tweet me going, "Simon, you've got to put her in Nobody Talks Like That. Are you watching the same show?" This was just a decent, important, imperative promo, and there was much worse to put in that segment, which we will later on. But Becky Lynch, she's doing all right, and WWE aren't overusing her. I've got no issues here. In fact, I liked it so much, I'm going to give it an up. And just to give you a bit of behind-the-scenes news, I actually came back to record this after Ups and Downs was done because I watched it back and I was like, no, that's not fair. Becky Lynch, she gets it up. We kept this going too, as then Sasha Banks was going to be on an episode of The King's Court, I can only presume because Jerry The King Lawler was on commentary tonight as Corey Graves had the night off. But as you know, when WWE does just go, "Oh, we don't have any ideas, so we'll put them in a talk show segment," we fight back here on Ups and Downs. Let's get to it.
Hello and welcome to the best ever talk show in the world. It's Simon Says. You again?
Yes, it's me again, because who else are you gonna get on? You are a flipping puppet. Jeez, man. Flipping knees. Anyway, this segment was then awesome. Up. After putting over the King of the Ring tournament, because, you know, Jerry Lawler is a king, and he wears a crown on his head, and I'm pretty sure that's all you've got to do to become royalty. The lights started to go crazy, and the atmosphere started to get terrifying, and fair play to Jerry, he knew what was going on. He realized that Bray Wyatt may be round the corner, so he hightailed it out the ring. He was not going to hang around and have his ass whooped. For some reason, he only had that thought up to the top of the aisleway, though, because then in the darkness and throughout the crazy sounds that we hear, the Fiend snuck up behind the Hall of Famer and he mandible clawed him to death. It wasn't to death, he was just laying on the floor because he had been attacked. But once again, this was an awesome Bray Wyatt segment, and it made me feel like I could take over the world. The crowd chanted "Yowie Wowie," which kind of sums up pro wrestling in 2019. It It would be a lot better if we were all scared of Bray Wyatt, but look, that's me pulling at straws. I don't care. The whole thing was awesome. The whole thing kicked ass. The whole thing was great, and Bray Wyatt continues to be the best damn thing in WWE. Once again, I didn't see this coming. WWE circumvented my expectations. Big Joseph then filled in for Jerry Lawler on commentary, and he was very good throughout the evening, so fair play to him. And we'll get the Sasha Banks interview later on, boy, will we. It was then who predicted this bizarre tag team match number one as the returning Baron Corbin, who now wrestles in a tank top, if you care, was teaming with Drew McIntyre to take on The Miz and Ricochet. If you've seen the King of the Ring tournament brackets, you know this was just a big promotion from that, but either still, up. It was just an easy to watch tag team match, to be honest. At one point, Ricochet was being his cool self because you had Drew and Baron on the outside of the ring, and he did a perfect moonsault on top of them, and he even got the win for his team. He hit Baron Corbin with a code breaker. He got the 1, 2, 3. And the only worrying thing here is you have to imagine that if the good guys got the victory in the random tag team match, and in the King of the Ring tournament, Drew McIntyre is going to win, and Baron Corbin is going to win. And it seems like Baron Corbin is going to win the whole thing. But we'll have to wait and see. And given what this was, it was okay, it was good. I would venture to say, no problems here. Do not enjoy these new dumb Skype sessions though. What are we even doing? Down. This week it was Booker T talking about how scary the Fiend is and that he believes Drew McIntyre will win the King of the Ring. That was it. He just happened to do it over Skype. I will presume that WWE and Skype have some kind of new business arrangement, and this is how we've come up to promote it. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm really glad we also promoted AJ Styles versus Braun Strowman for the United States Championship all week. It lasted around about 1 minute and 51 seconds. Down. Unsurprisingly, as soon as the OC were worried about their leader, Gallows jumped in, he big booted Braun Strowman, and that caused the DQ. Seth Rollins then came out, and he was like, oh, Braun, look, I'm here. I've now balanced out everything last week. And then in the most perplexing, weird shifting WWE event in ages, he went, hey, Braun, because that happened, why don't we challenge for the Tag Team Championships? Someone did confirm that, who I don't know. We just got told later on it will be made official, and again, we will get to that. It is our main event. I can't quite believe it, and of course that will be the random tag team match nobody predicted, number 2. I mean, I never predicted that, and neither did you. It was then finally time for the first round of the King of the Ring, and it was Samoa Joe, awesome, versus Cesaro, awesome. That meant this was awesome. Give it up. There was no nonsense here either, as it was just two good professional wrestlers having a really physical match, and hopefully we do that for all the King of the Ring, because when you have genuine winners and losers, the winners feel like a genuine threat, and that is why when Cesaro did get choked out to the Kakita clutch and he tapped, you're like, oh man, maybe we got to keep an eye on Samoa Joe. He's got loads of momentum. Also WWE, I think it's time we got to turn Samoa Joe face. He just gets cheered all the time. Everyone's always going, Joe, 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 Joe. We all love him. Let's do right by the man. There is a first time for everything, my friends. It's just the way that life works. If you continue to do something, eventually it will come back and it will slap you in the face. So the 24/7 title segment on this evening is getting it down. Elias is our new champ, and he was going to have a farewell concert because he can't keep going out there. Now he has this championship because it is being defended 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, Elias, if you are watching this, it was a really dumb move for you to tell everybody you were going to do a farewell concert because of these reasons. You may as well have just flown a flag, waved a flag that said, hey, somebody come and beat me up. After having trouble with his guitar though, and also he kept having sound problems, and WWE kept putting this really annoying sound into the arena, he demanded a roadie came out there and sorted it. Of course, the roadie was R-Truth, but even though he did roll up Elias a couple of times and hit him with a scissors kick, he couldn't get the win. Elias got out of there. Amazingly, he is still your 24/7 champion. Yeah, this was just a little more low-key than usual, and even if you had shifted it out of the show and added maybe 3 or 4 minutes onto another match, probably would have made things better. He actually had a pretty good Rey Mysterio interview after this though, and given what happened last week, I didn't expect that. Give it up. It did all tie into his recent losses, as Mysterio let us know that not only had Andrade been really disrespectful by trying to remove his mask, but now Rey was probably never going to get the chance to avenge such a terrible act. I don't know why Ray can't go and avenge this, but clearly he doesn't feel like he can. He knows that he's blessed. He knows he's had an amazing career. He knows he's got a lovely family. So after thinking about it, it may not only be time to give up on his career, but it may even be time to remove the mask. Ray even went to unmask on camera, and I have gone the other way, and I have donned a mask because I respect Rey Mysterio until until Rey Mysterio's own son Dominic popped up and he said, "Dad, Pappy, listen to me. Just like you were able to team with your dad and your granddad and everything like that, I want to be able to say to my children and to my grandchildren that when I debuted in WWE, I did so along with my father, Rey Mysterio." So I think they're now a tag team. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't made clear, but it did make Rey Mysterio change his mind. And Dominic was there saying all of these words. You tell me. I was a bit lost at the ending, but fair play to Rey Mysterio. He delivered this with passion. He delivered it with emotion. And I kind of believed it. And now here I am stood in a luchador mask, which is probably disrespectful to him as well, which was not intentional. I just remembered I had a luchador mask and I felt like I should wear it as a tribute to him. I've made a mistake. I often make mistakes. Let's carry on. I would have been a bit mad as well that we were having the Revival versus the New Day on Raw, given that the New Day are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions and that all of a sudden the wild card rule is back into the effect, as Michael Cole kept telling us, but then WWE swerved me at the end and I liked it. Give it up. Basically, after about 5 minutes, it got thrown out because Randy Orton appeared like a ghost from the shadows and he gave Big E an RKO. Then Kofi Kingston was in the ring like, "Don't hurt my friends, don't hurt my friends." So he got RKO'd, and then Xavier Woods tried the same tactic, but the Revival just grabbed him, tossed him up in the air. Randy Orton gave him an RKO too. The Revival continued to beat down on their now new rivals as Randy Orton forced Kofi Kingston to watch on. And I'm just going to say it, I'm just going to tell the truth. Right now, Orton is really fun to watch and I enjoy it when he is on my television screen. And really on the down low, on the secret, I wouldn't mind it if he was the WWE champion right now. Which is also true of Sasha Banks. Not the WWE champion, but she could probably become the Raw Women's champion and that would be okay. She was finally here to explain her actions last week as she did an on-screen interview with Michael Cole. He was sat at the announce booth and she was on the big screen. And she did pull off a very nice bait and switch because it sounded like she was going to tell us why and explain her actions about last week, but instead she told us why and explained that she changed her hair from purple to blue because she'd looked in the mirror and gone, "I think blue would suit us better." It didn't go much further than that, and Sasha never gave us any just cause for what she had done, and that's fine for now. But WWE, this time, can you actually come up with some kind of explanation? Because I'm still waiting to find out why exactly AJ Styles went into being bad guy. No one ever told me that, other than maybe he listens to Billie Eilish songs. As for our beloved Michael Cole, though, well, this ties into everything I was saying earlier. Just roll it. Hello and welcome to another episode of Nobody Talks Like That with me, Simonella, Michael Cole. This may be one of the worst ones we've seen so far because during your interview with Sasha Banks, you're having a kind of normal conversation with her, but it was still a bit weird until you said, "Sasha, why did you return to WWE last week? We will thank you for addressing these issues, specifically in regards to Becky Lynch and Natalya here tonight." Now, not only does nobody talk like that, but you basically took a bunch of words and just threw them into one sentence and hoped they made some sense when they came out of your mouth. Most people would have just gone, "Sasha, why the hell did you attack your friend Natalya and why are you pissed off at Becky Lynch?" But you thought you'd rather sound like a robot because nobody talks like that. It was tough to know what to do next because we did get Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss and they were defending their women's tag team titles against Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. And on the one hand, this one, it was really good because finally those championships are back on television, which means instantly they're more important than they have been since they were born back in February. On top of that, Cross did keep the belts for her team when she smashed Sonya Deville with her swinging neck breaker. But here is the thing, we'll go to the other hand. Why didn't we try and build this up? I like the team of Sonya and Mandy, and we could have probably turned this into a cool feud that we look forward to, and we go left a little bit, and we go right, we go up, we go down, we go around the place, but instead they just had a random match on Raw, and then we had a team lose. Still though, we do have to compare it to where we've been, because context is king, and the title's actually being defended is a huge step forward. And for that reason alone, it gets it up. Strowman then stared at Seth's Universal title as Rollins tried to talk strategy about their match they're having later tonight. Eventually they're all like, look, don't worry about it, we're gonna go out there and smash some fools. And all of this was just a big foreshadowing of sadness. Sami Zayn then lost again. Bring it down, here it comes. You know what's happening if you watch Ups and Downs every single week. It's the Sally Tally, and we mark it again because of course he had a match and he didn't win. And ever since we started doing this, that pretty much happens every single week. It was another first round King of the Ring tournament match. He was taking on Cedric Alexander. He got lumbar checked in around about 2 to 3 minutes. It didn't last long at all. And that was that. Give it down. And it was nice that Cedric Alexander got the win. He's finally getting some momentum. But I don't believe he's going to win the King of the Ring. So really this ain't going to serve anybody. Unless you really, really hate Sami Zayn, like I presume WWE does. The Street Profits were then backstage predicting who was going to win the King of the Ring, and we also saw Gallows and Anderson getting really pissed off because why should they defend their tag team titles against two people that aren't even a team? AJ Styles had some motivational words for them, one of which was, you're going to be fine because you're a couple of mother lovers. Damn right, AJ Styles. Damn right. We had one final backstage segment too as a part of this, and it featured Natalya. And well, some things are just too much for this old man. This was one of those things. I have to give it a down. Let's just get through it. Natty was talking about how upset she was last week when she wanted to talk about Jim the Anvil Neidhart, who was her father that passed away last year, and then she was devastated that Sasha Banks had attacked her. Sasha Banks didn't care. She attacked her again during this skit and actually said to Natalya, go to hell, Natty, and when you're there, tell your dad I said hi. In the past, I've said it, so I'll say it again. If Sasha Banks, Natalya, and the Neidhart/Hart family are all fine with this, then look, it's not for me to criticize it. If everybody wants to give it the thumbs up and the green light, and there's no badness, there's no sadness, you can do whatever you want to do. But on the flip side, as a consumer of wrestling television who watches Raw to be entertained, this is too much for me. It doesn't make me hate Sasha Banks more. It doesn't make me feel more sorry for Natalya. It just makes me go, I'm cringing inside. This is too much. I don't like it. That's all it is. You can have your own take. That's fine. Again, I'm not saying they shouldn't do this. I'm just saying I personally am not a fan of it. And it's another down for the main event. I liked what it was, but I also didn't like what it meant. Down. In short, Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins were actually able to become the Raw Tag Team Champions. They kept fighting off interference from AJ Styles, who wanted to sneak in and throw a couple of fisticuffs, but eventually Braun Strowman power slammed Anderson. He got the 1, 2, 3, and that was that. They did become the new champions at the end. AJ Styles even tried to get in, but he got curb stomped by Seth Rollins. The OC, this dominant group, couldn't stop two people that got thrown together around about 2 hours earlier. Now the live crowd loved it, we do have to say that, so fair play to WWE in that sense. And it's not like this is anything new. You can go to countless times in history and see two people feuding over the WWE Championship, and somehow they also become the tag team champions too. But it doesn't mean I like it, and the reason I don't like it is it turns the tag belts into a prop. Like, they're not actually going after that. That's just like a storyline, literally a prop, it's a subplot. That's all it exists. I don't know what I'm holding here, there's no belt here. My point being though, every time you do that, you do take the tag team division and you give it another kicking and you basically flush it down the toilet, which is doubly crazy because one, you've got a bunch of good tag teams that could feature on the show, you could do feuds with them, and two, you've got AEW starting up. Clearly WWE's a little bit worried, hence the NXT stuff. They're gonna have a mad tag team division. Maybe now is the time to rebuild your tag team division. I mean, even when we were done and Strowman had just won a tag team championship, he was just looking at the Universal title as if it was ice cream on a hot day. So ultimately, this was utterly pointless and certainly doesn't help Gallows on Anderson. Again, it's not a knock on the match. It was fun. It was an exciting end to Raw. I'm just saying when I sat down and put on my critique hat, this was my critique. Which brought us to the end of Raw, and look, once again, there were some shabby things in there, but overall, it was a decent episode, and I think WWE's good run continues. If we can get through Clash of the Champions and Survivor Series and Royal Rumble, then we'll be at WrestleMania again. Maybe we'll all be doing backflips and eating cheese. So there is my spinning arrow. I love it. Kiss for you. No idea why I did that. Sometimes I do weird things. It is gonna get an up. And I keep both my fingers crossed that we're going to have a super duper golden up tomorrow when we find out who tried to kill Roman Reigns. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought about last night's episode of Raw. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE, and watch more videos here on WhatCulture Wrestling. Thank you very much for watching. My name was Simon Miller, also known as Simon from WhatCulture. I'll be back tomorrow to up those downs for SmackDown. I'd love to see you. And in the meantime, keep a smile on your face, feel positive inside, and have yourself a wonderful damn day.